Welcome to AstroEnergy with astrologer angel Shelley Overton. Hello and welcome to the AstroEnergy Astrology Show for Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2017. It is actually my favorite day of the year because other than my birthday, I should say, because it celebrates love. Don't we all want love in our lives? Don't we all want to be happy and full of love? I love that. I love love. Anyway, I'm here in Orlando, Florida. I'm an astrologer, and it is 73 degrees and kind of cloudy today. It's a little cool. I know 73 sounds perfect. It was 81 yesterday, or Sunday, I guess it was, and it was so beautiful. It was low humidity and 81. I think that is the definition of perfect, in my opinion. Anyway, we love the cool weather here in Florida because, my goodness, it's going to be really hot in the summer. So anyway, what are you doing to celebrate Valentine's Day? Have you gotten any candy? Have you gotten flowers? Have you gotten balloons? My daughter she woke up and she's like, I am not going to have anything. Everyone at school is going to have balloons and flowers and everything. And I got her a little heart chocolate box, just a little one, like 4 inches, and it had Snoopy on it. So she got that, and I gave her a cute little vintage Valentine's Day card that I have and really like. So she got something, and then, of course, my parents. Well, you probably don't know this. I do post on Facebook periodically if you go and check me out over there. But my parents brought me by a begonia and some Godiva chocolates in a box for Valentine's Day on the weekend. So that was really nice and sweet. And I don't have anyone special in my life. So it's kind of nice to have your parents there thinking about you. And, anyway. So today is a day of love, and we're going to be talking about love and Venus here in a couple minutes. But first, we're going to do what's going on in the sky. So, and actually, I'm hoping you're all hearing me. I should double check. Nobody's written anything in the chat room. Hopefully, you can hear me because this week I was logging in and they said, we're experiencing difficulty with our system. And I'm like, okay. But then they continued on with their recorded announcements and let me on. So hopefully it will all be okay. So today we have Venus at 7 Aries and Mars at 12 Aries. We have Uranus at 21 Aries, and they are opposing Jupiter at 23 Libra retrograde and the moon at 10 degrees Libra. So today we have a lovely Libra moon, which rules marriage and partnership. And she is exactly opposite, almost like right in the middle between Venus and Mars. So that's quite interesting. That energy alone would be probably not the nicest, just because Aries is very childlike in their need to get things done and have it their way and be the one that drives everything. And the moon in Libra is very cooperative, so maybe it'll work out. So the nurturing side is very amenable. There's a side of us that says, yeah, it's okay if you want to do this or that. So the Aries out there are probably going to call the shots today. And ironically, my daughter's an Aries, so it's kind of her day. And so, at least in my heart. So we've got a lot of strong energy from Aries. Of course, Aries is ruled by Mars. And that means that Aries needs to demonstrate emotion or ideas or drive or ego all through taking action. And if you've been feeling irritated, agitated, angry, that's all part of that Aries energy. It's really strong energy. The Venus and Mars, of course, Venus rules women and the feminine energy, and Mars rules masculine energy. And while Venus may not feel terribly comfortable in Aries, she is utilizing this energy to the hilt. If you watch the Grammys, it was like an ode to women on the Grammys this weekend. And definitely Beyonce, I was watching it, and she was like the goddess Venus. If Venus were a person, she would be Beyonce. And it's interesting because Beyonce is actually a Virgo, but Virgo is the sign of the Virgin and the feminine energy. And she just exuded all this womanly feminine. And the moon, of course, N degrees of Virgo during the Grammys. And so there was a lot of that feminine energy coming in. But in Aries, it's saying, hey, we're here, don't forget about us, we're going to speak up for ourselves and be present, be counted. So we've got that really strong energy. And not only that, because she's only 5 degrees off of Mars, Mars is supporting her. Mars is saying, yeah, rock the women. And there was a guy at the Grammys, I don't remember what his name was, but he had a pink hoodie on that said girl power. So it was amazing. Like, this has been obviously an amazing, amazing month of feminine woman energy. And it's going to go on probably through May, because of course Venus will retrograde the beginning of March on the 4th, and she'll go back all the way into Pisces. And even though she's in a masculine sign now, she'll be back in Pisces. And Pisces is the energy of women, it's feminine. And probably we'll see another named celebrity woman pass away at that time, just because N degrees of Pisces is the culmination of a lifetime. So if you look at a chart, you'll see that we come in, and the first house is our ego and is our expression of the newness, and that's Aries. You go all the way around the zodiac and come back to the end, and it's the sign of Pisces. Now, when you have planets go through the N degrees of Pisces, then you are wrapping up a story. And of course, it's Venus, which is women, so that's going to mean there is a woman who is wrapping up her story, and there will be a couple opportunities again, once when she goes into Pisces and once when she leaves. So she'll go, I wanted to say in the 20s. Hang on a second. She'll retrograde back to 26 degrees, and then she'll go direct. And she started the whole shadow period at the end of January. And I'm just looking it up here. Yeah, the 30th of January was really the beginning of the Venus shadow period, which means whatever stories begun under that timeline at the end of January, you're going to have to do it over again. You're going to, well, energetically. And feminine, again, wrapping up a story. If it had to do with love, which of course Venus rules love and money, you're going to have to go back over that energy and fine tune it. That's what that means. It's a fine tuning. And it also is the energy of coming back in from the past. So we are going to be going back to the past, back to the old energy to relive it on some level and figure out if that's something that matters. If it is, then we have to follow along with it. And if it isn't, then we have to release it, because it is the time of letting go of the old story. And then now we have Venus in Aries. And of course, Aries is the new story. Aries energy is newborn. And of course, Pisces is kind of like the end of an old year is the old man, and the new year is the baby in diapers. That's the Pisces Aries energy. So now we are into the new year, into the new energy, and we're heading towards something. And Mars is wanting us to express and take action. And it's very much about beauty and aesthetics. And so we have more of that type of energy coming around in our environment. We have art, we have music, dance, theater. Any of the arts are getting a huge infusion of attention right now. Of course, the Grammys, like I mentioned, and then this next weekend, I believe, the 26th, a week from now, is the Oscars. So it is award season, but it's the energy of the arts. And then Mars, it's just getting closer and closer to Uranus. And Uranus is, and I'm telling you, when Mars hits Uranus, your computers are going to be going haywire, because Mars is exacerbating and energizing that energy. And that's kind of a funny way to put it, but it is. It's an energized energy because energy is ruled by Uranus, and it also rules eccentricity, the unusual, science. It rules genius. It rules inventiveness. It rules astrology. And it rules organizations that are related to your career. It rules money from career. And it rules electronics that reach the masses. So your computer, the internet, all of that, when Mars reaches that, and you'll probably hear me say it again as we get closer to that point. I'm looking here. It's going to actually conjunct the end of February on the 27th. So, yeah, the 27th, 28th, and yeah, the 27th and the 28th of the month. So the last 2 days of February, we are going to have some stress energy from that, because even though it's a conjunction, it is the energy of loose cannons. And that's because the energy of Aquarius and Uranus brings in the power from all directions like a radio tower. So we're going to be getting that unexplainable, unexpected energy coming in. And then Mars is going to exacerbate it with drive and that willingness to fight. So there could be a crisis coming up at the end of the month. I wouldn't be surprised if we have some type of ideological crisis that will be either posturing or, North Korea setting off something. It wouldn't surprise me at all because it rules uranium, which is, of course, radiation. And I believe oh, darn it, I shouldn't even bring it up. But yeah, I'm trying to remember when radiation was discovered and when Uranus was discovered. I think there was a connection there. So it has a connection, just even in the name, to the idea of explosives around atomic energy. So that's a strong potential in my view. And then Mars is something happening and expressing through that energy. Now, Mars wants that voice. He's out there in the universe going around the zodiac wanting to express himself. And when he gets with Uranus, he's going to take advantage of that. So if you think of kind of an energy of someone stumbling around in a dark room and then happens upon this bright light, and then all of a sudden, ooh, it's kind of like, what can I do with this? It's a little impish kid, but he doesn't know his own power. That's the energy that we're going to have. It's going to be like, boom, what can I do? What can I, and honestly, I don't remember his name, but the leader of North Korea probably really fits this energy because he is like a little kid playing with fire, and he's going to stumble on something and he's going to get noticed. He's going to get a lot of attention. And so I wouldn't be surprised if North Korea escalates by the end of this month on some level. And then I also heard that Fukushima is having more issues and the levels are higher at Fukushima than they've been. Really, I don't remember what the phrase is, but instead it's 534 parts per something. And it was supposed to be around 12, but it's like 500 and something. So it's giving off radiation at that kind of exponential rate. So anything nuclear is also ruled under Uranus. So moving on around the zodiac, let's get off of that. So the moon in Libra, so moon is going to be conjunct Jupiter tonight. So that'll be interesting. Jupiter is retrograde, so he's going to act a little more responsible. And, when he's direct, Jupiter, again, being more of the self-directed, self-absorbed at times energy. In Libra, he wants his needs met. And then retrograde, he is going to have to face some of the actions that he's done while he was going direct and some of the feelings that he's been feeling. So if we've been feeling like things aren't going exactly the way we want to go in a relationship, now is a time that we're going to be paying attention. And interestingly, because the moon is opposing Venus and Mars and approaching Jupiter, so tonight should be the time. I should actually see what the chart says. Maybe I'll do a little chart for tonight and see how that looks. So let's try 7 o'clock, when I would think a lot of people will be out to dinner around 7, and see what's going on with the moon. And then, so the moon is going to be right next to Jupiter, so it'll be shining the light also on Jupiter. And let me tell you, that moon last night was phenomenal coming up. It was golden, and it looked kind of oblong because it's not full anymore, but it was huge and golden here in our land. It was really, really beautiful. So yeah, tonight he'll be exactly opposite. He'll be at 14 and Mars is at 13. So he'll be exactly opposite Mars, within a degree. And later on, so that'll be good, probably early morning hours tomorrow, you have Jupiter right there or the moon on Jupiter. But that also means that the moon is moving into opposition with Uranus. So Uranus is opposite Jupiter within 2 degrees. And then the moon added to that means that, of course, that's going to add even more energy to that opposition. And since the moon just came off of an eclipse and being full, and now it's waning, going to, I would say, zap some energy out of the sails of Jupiter. And there's going to be a definite lack of cooperation on some level. I think this is going to be a contentious couple of days. But, we live in America now, so it's probably going to be quite a while of contention. And let's see what else. We have a square of the moon to Pluto tonight. So this is also highlighting that T-square energy with Pluto at 18 Capricorn, Moon at 14, and Mars at 13 next to Jupiter or next to Venus. So Mars, the Moon, and then also Jupiter's within 5 degrees of an exact square to Pluto. So we've got Venus, Mars, Moon, Jupiter, and Pluto all in different areas of the sky trying to come to some understanding, and none of them want to work together. So how do we balance that? We work our Cancer energy, wherever Cancer is in our chart, we're going to want to highlight that. That happens to be my Mars, interestingly enough. So Mars is actually starting to square my Mars. So we have my lovely friend Octarine in the chat room giving me the information on Uranus, which was discovered in 1781, and uranium discovered in 1789. So 8 years apart, they discovered it. Isn't that interesting? And she's so wonderful. Fukushima is leaking at 530 sieverts an hour, and 4 sieverts can kill a person. So I don't even know how they're going to handle that. But I did find out that diatomaceous earth, which is something I mentioned last week, it actually can contain the energy of radiation along with lead, but they need to put a huge dump of that on top of this to even have any effect, and on top of the fact that it isn't going to probably contain it. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to give any more energy to something horrible like that, and it's going to happen whether or not I talk about it, so I'm just not going to talk about it. Anyway, thank you, Karen, for that. Let's see. I'm shuffling around my many windows, trying to find the one I was talking about, the current window. Let's just put 7 o'clock away. And we've got Saturn at 25 Sagittarius. He is in sextile to Jupiter. He is in sextile to the Sun. So going on there is travel and cooperation amongst organizations is better. Foreign energy and cooperation with organizations, but individuals are not getting along. Organizations are getting along better right now. And then let me see. So Saturn, I'm just checking. Oh yeah, and he's also in trine to Uranus. So Saturn is actually working on some level as a intermediary. So the rules and structures are being looked at, and whatever the situation is between the people not getting along, the mediator, Saturn, is really going by the rules. So if you take, as an example, politics, whoever isn't getting along has to go through the law and the letter of the law or the rule of the law. That is what Saturn is doing. Now, that being said, Saturn's in Sagittarius, and his ruler's Jupiter, which he's also in positive aspect to. So he's getting a lot more say. Jupiter has a say in how things go more with the cooperation, and the energy around it is really the transition, because that's what Jupiter and Sagittarius are good for, is transition. So while we are having our issues in the relationships, in the marriages, in the partnerships, we are creating a structure that is actually going to help the cooperation between those entities. And because a trine 120 degrees away with Uranus and Saturn, they're cooperating. They're getting along. And with that energy, even though it's a positive aspect, there can be something that isn't going to go like we wanted it to, or that you may have to give up in order to get the bigger reward. So that's how that negotiation is going to go. And then Saturn Jupiter is sextiling, which is a much more cooperative, yeah, we're getting along, it's all good. It's not quite analogous, which would be right next to each other, but it's 2 houses over. They're 2 houses away from each other. It actually does make them more positively cooperative. So even though trine's a positive aspect, I see trine as coming with a price, whereas a sextile is more like, yeah, we're friends, we get along, we have each other's back. So Jupiter, you know, whatever happens, like even if you are in a relationship that doesn't necessarily go the way you want, if it is the end of the relationship, you're going to have the system look out for you, and it's going to be more cooperative in getting you what you need out of the exit plan, so to speak. And then Saturn in sextile to the Sun. So there are unusual ideas, and that's going to come in and actually give you some unique ways of handling the structure of the breakup, if there is one, or the transition to a new way of looking at that partnership. So it could also mean business. I'm dealing with some business dealings now, and so you never know. I mean, now it's going really well, but if it doesn't, and not this particular situation, but if you're having a situation that isn't going cooperatively in a business, then definitely the structure is going to be the thing that's going to help you come together. So write the rules, come up with a plan, do the business plan. That's what's going to get you where you need to go. And then Mercury is at 11 Aquarius. So Mercury, again, rules computers, electronics, anything like that, thoughts and communication. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as Mercury is in Aquarius, we could have computer trouble. And it could also be, you know, just like a retrograde, because it's that intense energy and it's unpredictable. So let's see, I'm just looking how long until he changes signs. Actually, Mercury, where am I? Mercury in Aquarius. How come I'm not getting this? There it is. Okay, so he changes to Pisces the 26th. So again, the end of the month is really truly a culmination of a lot of energy and a lot of late energy of different signs at the end of the zodiac. So it's going to be a time of release, letting go, acting up, and moving on, and transition. Let's see, we have Neptune at 11 also. So we have Mercury at 11 and Neptune at 11. And so they are having a little conversation. And Mercury, of course, is very intellectual, and Pisces is very emotional. Traditionally, intellect and emotion do not like to get along because they have their realm, and intellect wants to make it logical, and emotion will not be logical. Emotion is a reaction on a visceral level, and it expresses through the feelings that we have about things, and you can't reason with emotion. So there could be a little bit of a disruption with that, and it's a semi-square, and then an inconjunct to the moon as well for Neptune. So Neptune is feeling some things on a deeper level, and that means that if you are in a relationship, that there may be a subtext going on with whatever's going on in your evening tonight. You'll have that kind of, I don't know if I believe this kind of energy. Anyway, that's kind of a superficial look at what's going on. Well, maybe not that superficial. But anyway, that's a look at what's going on in the sky right now. And let's talk a little bit about love before the break, and then we'll take some calls. So I'm just going to go around the zodiac for everybody and tell you what's going on. I didn't do horoscopes this month. I honestly was going to do them, and I just thought, you know what? I just am not feeling it this month, and I would rather write a blog. So I'm going to write a blog this month and do kind of an overview. And I know it's a little late. It's in the middle of the month already, but I'm not sure that the astroscopes are going to survive. I think that I'm in the middle of transitioning those. Not surprising because Mercury's in Aquarius and change is afoot. So let's get to it. Venus in Aries. We kind of discussed it. You know, anybody with a Venus in Aries right now, there's a lot going on. You're definitely getting the attention from people from probably both genders, quite honestly. I think both gender symbols are in the sign of Aries. So I think that you're equally getting male and female attention right now if you're in Aries. And you really are just taking it as it comes in some respect, because that's what Aries does. It doesn't really, the fire signs don't really slow down a lot to cogitate on things. They just want to get it going. So you're going to be feeling that. You're going to be getting a lot of attention now. And you're really going to be looking at what's going on with your career versus what's going on with your personal world, me versus my partner. So there may be some strife and energy going on around that for you. Just trying, see, this isn't, I should have printed this chart out because now I have to, instead of rotating the actual chart, I'm going to have to imagine it in my mind, redraw the line. I'm going to print it out here while I'm talking to you so I can get it. But if you're a Taurus, a lot of your energy right now is going into the subconscious, the subliminal. Not only do you have Venus and Mars in your 12th house, you also have Neptune in the 11th house in Pisces. So there's not only subtext about the relationship, but subtext about what's going on at work or in your career, and you're wanting to feel validated there, or your boundaries are really low at work. But also because Pluto is in your 9th house, there's going to be some opportunity around travel, or you may be put in a position to take some authority within an educational setting, and you may be having some issues, with the emotions on that, and your partner. Well, there's also some health issues potentially going on with a partner. Why are you printing 2 pages? Okay. Well, it printed 2. Oh no, it's going to print 5. See? That little Mercury just keeps getting me. He's like a trickster right now. And I'm printing 5. Now I'll handle this. I'll just pull the paper. There you go. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm talking because I've got to do these things so I don't waste all this paper and ink. But you can't see what's going on, so I'm just describing it. Okay, now I can actually tell you better what's going on with the planets now that I have a tangible physical chart. Okay, so there's also some opportunities for travel with your partner, and that, I would say, if you're having any issues as a Taurus with a partner, you need to have a little getaway time for the holiday. It's really late, so you may not be able to do it this weekend, but if you can take next weekend away, or you may have just taken last weekend away, that should have helped a little bit with what's going on. So Gemini is feeling Venus and Mars in the 11th house. So doing some soul group work. This is about friendship. This holiday, this Valentine's Day, getting together with your gal pals or your boyfriends that are, if you're a guy, your friends, your buddies, and doing something as a group of people as friends, because that's where the energy is for you right now. And Geminis are very social. They like to be out and about and doing and being active. That sign rules transportation. And if you have Gemini in your chart, let me tell you, you are a person who likes to move about and do things and travel and drive. My daughter has Saturn in Gemini. Is it Gemini? No, she has Jupiter in Gemini, and she has Mars in Sagittarius, also another travel action sign. So go, go, go. Cancer, you are feeling the change in your home life. Maybe your partner is going through a transition and not necessarily the person you thought you married, but you are having to balance it with what's going on in nurturing. You have to learn to accept some of those attributes or shift and change yourself. That's where Jupiter in the home life is, and then Pluto, lots of change. Matter of fact, I think Cancer is probably one of the most hit signs right now as far as having to change things with what they're familiar with around home and a partner. The lifestyle's changing a lot, and Pluto wants to show you the things that you're fearful of with regard to your partner. And then, I'm saying this, my mother has this rising sign, and I know she doesn't really talk about anything, but I can see certain things, and I'm like, wow, you're really getting a hit right now with this energy. Jupiter retrograde, and my dad is sick this week too, so she has to deal with that. Anyway, Jupiter in the house of home and family is squaring Pluto in the marriage and partnership house. And then Venus and Mars are in career. So there's a side of you that wants to go out and just do your career and not have to deal with all of this. And that might actually be the best thing for right now, because Venus is going to be going retrograde. You're not really going to have the energy moving forward for you coming up in the next few months till May. So, or at least, let me put it another way. Mars will have the energy moving forward with your career. Your desire to continue doing it will be sidetracked a little bit after Venus goes retrograde in March. So March and April are going to be a little bit more, I need alone time. I need to pull back. I want to learn some more. I'm not sure I want to go down this path. And then if you meet someone, they're going to be probably someone you met through your career or through an organizational setting, which can also be church or, Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts or something like that. It'll be the structure of the business or something around an authority figure. It could be an older person. So interestingly, Aries is the energy of youth, and it's in the house for Cancer. It's in the house of the elderly. So this is an energy that would see maybe a partner coming in or people interested in you. Definitely there could be some interest, because Venus and Mars are at your midheaven, which is where the spotlight shines. And so you could end up having some of that energy where you're getting a lot of attention from older people, or if you're the older person, you could be getting the younger people, but there's an May-December energy about that. Then we have Leo, one of my favorite signs. Leo is ruled by the sun, which also happens to be going through Leo's house of marriage and partnership. So, and I want to tell you that not only when you read the horoscopes, don't just read your sun sign, but read your rising sign. And the rising sign relates to the time you were born in the place you were born. If you don't know your rising sign, you can go to astrologerangel.com, which is my website, and scroll down to the bottom right, and it's probably like the equivalent of 2 pages. You just scroll up, and there's a little rising sign link. You can click that, and you should be able to enter in your rising sign. If you can't, let me know, because then the website's not working, but it was working last time I tweaked it. So go to the rising sign and click on it, and it'll lead you to a place where you can enter it in and find it, and then read that horoscope as well. That is going to be probably a little more accurate for timing for you, because it speaks to how your chart is laid out. So anyway, Leo wants attention, and right now the sun's in Aquarius, which is very detached, but the moon is in Libra. So moon is going to let Leo be more chatty, and Leo loves to tell the stories. And with the moon in Libra in the 3rd house, he's ready to tell the story. Also, Venus and Mars fall in his house of travel, so there may be opportunities for travel, but it may not include a partner. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to have partnership opportunities. Definitely meeting someone while you're traveling could happen at this time. And then also the educational setting is really big for it, or musical events would be really good for you for Valentine's Day. If you go to a concert, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for you to meet people that way. Mars is running through that house, running through the house of education and spirituality. So religious organizations too would be a great, like you don't think of going to church on a Valentine's Day, but maybe some kind of get together that's more eclectic, a yoga session or a meditation session with other people. Something like that could be really good and actually kind of unusual and eclectic, which would be good for the sun being in your house of marriage and partnership, that you can find, unusual things to do for this holiday. Now, Virgos have Venus and Mars in the house of commitment. So they are definitely wanting more of a commitment from people. Neptune is in their house of marriage and partnership. So it's a time of really honing in on your ideal partner. What would that look like? And then Venus, of course, because Venus was in Pisces, there was kind of a story around an old partner or letting go so that you can open yourself up for a new partner. Venus and Mars in your house of commitment, it's going to bring up the deep, dark stuff and the things that are holding you back. So you're going to see some of your lesser attractive qualities right now, but there's a lot of sexy going on because Scorpio is a very sexy sign and energy that rules the 8th house, and Mars is in Aries there. So you naturally have Aries and Scorpio ruling your partnership house. So when you find that ideal partner, which your Pisces wants, you will give your whole body and soul to that person and go very deep, and it will be very sexy, and you're really good at it too. So anyway, and then Uranus also up there in the house of commitment could bring in people from unusual places or unusual types of people, and just be careful of the detachment coming. And a lot of times when Uranus is somewhere near marriage and partnership or commitment house, or even the second house of love, because second house is ruled by Venus, and that a lot of times partners come from the second house. You could get someone who comes quickly in and then leaves just as quickly. So there's someone who kind of brings a message and they hit and run. So that energy is also a potential coming up in the next month as Mars comes closer to Uranus for Virgo. Libra, you have a lot of strong energy around marriage and partnership, and I would guess that you have a strong potential to get married or to change around the structure of a marriage if you are being married, that may be something. I don't know, my grammar's dropping. So if you are married, you're going through a lot of stressful energy right now as a Libra. You have Jupiter in the first house wanting to have needs met in a more self-absorbed way. You've got Uranus going through your house of marriage and partnership, which is detached, and also in Aries, which says, yeah, me. And then you have Pluto in your house of home and family. So right now could be more of a difficult time, ironically, because Libra rules marriage and partnership, but you might not be feeling it this time. You might be feeling a little bit put out or a little detached from your partner. So that's okay. You can still, Libras love a good gesture of love. And so even giving a little gesture could go a long way right now. Scorpio, very intense energy, wants to merge body and soul. And currently, they don't have any planets going on in their first house or in their house of marriage and partnership in Taurus. But Venus is giving you someone who in your work life might actually come in for you. And again, it's Aries, so someone younger and someone very vibrant and unusual, eclectic, coming in the workplace for you. Let's see, your house of romance has Neptune there, so you may feel this person has a lot of qualities you've been looking for in a partner, but again, Uranus is going to give you a hit and run. So this may just be someone showing you what you want, but maybe the precursor to the actual person coming in for you. Sagittarius, you have Venus and Mars in your house of romance. So this is a good sign for you. You probably are going to have trysts this day, this Valentine's Day. You've got friends galore. Jupiter is going through your house of friendship, and somebody may actually be interested in you who's a friend or someone from your work environment or career or professional organization with that Jupiter moon up there. And then you have Venus, Mars wanting you to be creative. So something that could be really fun is go take a paint class. That would be a fun thing to do today, or a pottery class, something like that. Do something creative and physical. So get your hands in the clay. Capricorn, you are having the Venus-Mars in your house of home and family, which is probably as it should be because you're very traditional and like to spend time at home, and now is a really big time for you to do that. So having a quiet dinner at home would be a good thing. And then also rediscovering romance with your family and with your partner in the home area. And then do something unusual. That's Uranus. Maybe go to bed at a different time. That's kind of what came to mind as I thought of that. That's funny because Capricorns are so structure oriented. Stay up late. Anyway, something around the home and family and finding love there. Let's see. You've got Aquarius. You are very chatty right now. All the ideas are popping. Mercury is in your first house. And on top of it, Venus and Mars are in your third house of communication. So it's about taking action, like walk your talk. That's what this holiday is for. And meet somebody who is outgoing. Definitely, you're probably going to be doing that. Someone in the educational setting. This brings to mind my son, who is an Aquarius rising, and his girlfriend's at school. So hopefully they will do something sweet for Valentine's Day, but I'm not so sure that generation is very into this holiday, so probably won't. Oh, well. Anyway, definitely could be spending time alone today if you're not careful. But, yeah, your mouth could get you in trouble. So just be very cautious of your words, Aquarius. Pisces, you are looking for love in all the unusual places because love falls into your house of money and possession. So you're looking to I'm not going to say that. People who have Venus in the house of Venus definitely are looking for love. And Mars means that you could also get something financially positive at this time. So I just keep thinking about this, but I'm not going to say it. So Aries rules sales, and then Venus is love, and I'm going to let you infer whatever you want with that. But yeah, there's some independent, autonomous stuff going on with you right now, and maybe there's also some energy of not getting along with a partner this Valentine's Day for Pisces. So anyway, that's the news from Lake Wobegon, actually from Orlando. Okay, I'm going to take a 2-minute break, and then we're going to take calls, and we're going to get everybody in, so don't worry, and I'll be right back. In these days of stress, running around, responsibilities, we all need a little place to go to make it all better. Is that place sports, football, or maybe you like to garden, paint, or just listen to music? Wherever your happy place is, you can find a shirt or mug to reflect that happy place. At myhappyplace.rocks, we have a variety of lifestyle products, including iPhone cases, pajamas, and pet items, all with beautiful, colorful designs, which help us go to our happy place. Stop by on the web for great gift ideas for others and yourself. myhappyplace.rocks. Lenny Pickett appears courtesy of Random Act Records. Check them out at randomactrecords.com. Okay, welcome back. My name is Shelley Overton. I'm an astrologer in Orlando, Florida, and I am here to take your calls. You can get me at astrologerangel.com if you are interested in getting a personal private reading, and I would love to speak with you because one of my favorite things to do is give readings. So let's give some. 313. Hi, I can get really loud.
Give me about 2 seconds, ma'am.
Okay.
I didn't expect to be first today.
Sorry. Is this Robert? Or
yes,
Vaughn?
ma'am.
Sorry.
Yes. One of the two. I answer both of them.
How are you?
I'm greater than great. How about yourself, ma'am?
Awesome. I'm having a great Valentine's Day. Are you doing anything for Val's Day?
I'm about to go to sleep in about an hour and a half or so.
Oh no, do you have to work or something?
Well, no, I work at night right now. Plus, I'm doing some
Okay.
side stuff as I
Yeah.
was sitting up waiting for you. But
Aw.
yeah, it's all good though.
Well, that's good.
I'm
So you're
great.
first up, and then you can get some rest. What can I do
Yes,
for you?
well, here's my thing. I have a question a little bit different than I normally call in on.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually looking at my chart. I'm concerned about am I yielding to some fear that I'm not aware of? I've kind of I've looked at these things in my DNA and stuff like that. Tried to figure out. I kind of figured it's some kind of ancestral thing that I'm going through because I'm always
Oh.
got great ideas and always trying to go forward, but it seems to an extent like I'm kind of like in the mud. But I'm like, well, what's really actually holding me back from doing?
Okay.
I know I do a lot of things a lot of times, but try to do too much. Like at the beginning of this particular calendar year,
Yeah.
I started to at the beginning of this calendar year, I started to get to a point where I got a little bit more organized, and it made more sense. It may be a little bit of impatience on my part, but
Yeah.
I've been going through that for the better part of the of a year
Last
now.
year.
So
Yeah. I know. I totally feel you. I totally get it. You've got a lot of things going on in your chart. So you are one of the generation who have Uranus Pluto conjunct in Virgo. And right now Pluto is triggering your natal Pluto. There's a trine going on. So that's really having you want to make changes so that you can do your career and you can change it. So many things. Oh my gosh. You and I should have a private reading, but yeah, you've just got, so Pluto is at the end degrees of your house of money from career. And with Pluto, that's your natal Pluto. Transiting Pluto's down your house of communications, and it's also your thought processes. So what it's saying is you need to change how you think of things and how you communicate yourself so that you can be here for the reason you came here for. And as Pluto gets closer to 24 degrees, which is going to be the turn of the decade, 2020, it's going to hit a trine to your natal Uranus, which is really about utilizing your inner knowing, because it's in your 12th house of understanding. So that's one thing that's going on. It's pretty heavy for people born in 66, 67, 68, because they've got that Pluto hitting that degree now. You also have a square between Saturn at 25 degrees and your natal Uranus in the 12th house. So that's causing some difficulty as well, because there's this desire to go forward and there's a restriction coming from Saturn. It's like, yeah, I want to go, I want to do it, and it's shaking up that need to like do something. You want freedom. Freedom is a big thing with this energy because Uranus wants freedom, and it's squaring a Sagittarius energy, and it's just like, I can't take it. Like there's something, and I can't tell what it is. Well, part of it's spiritual. Part of it is communicative, because Virgo is a communicator, and so is the third house, which is where Saturn is. So Saturn's asking you to communicate your truth, and like in spades, because Sagittarius likes to tell the truth, or likes to express what it sees as the truth, is a better way to put it. So you're really feeling that square, and then you jump over to Neptune, which is opposing your Virgo energy. It's not exactly opposite, but the first planet it's going to hit is your sun. So Neptune wants to slow things down. Venus, since the beginning of the year, and well, all last year, it was hurry up and wait. And Gesundheit. Anyway, so Venus right now is probably, Venus and Saturn are your biggest issues right now, because Venus is in positive aspect to the Sagittarius energy, your Mars, your Moon, but it's in an awkward, uncomfortable energy towards your Sun, your Pluto, and those are really big planets for where you're going in the future, because it's your sense of self, it's your soul group, it's the life change, it's the things you were here to do, it's healing energy. So Venus is going to go backwards. What she's going to do, she was kind of sluggish, or will be sluggish as she's going into this Pisces energy and retrograding. She's going to help you go back over some of the issues of you've been being held back from. And this is really pointed for you because you have Chiron coming up in your natal Chiron. You're almost in a Chiron conjunction. It's your deepest wounding, and it's your psychological makeup, and it has to do with your intuition. And you've got a lot, like you are a channeler. I don't know if you've ever done any channeling. Have you done channeling?
No, not consciously anyway.
I would say you should take a meditation class, and if you can find one, take a channeling class, because you have not only Mercury in the 12th, you have Uranus in the 12th. And yeah, and then you have Chiron in the house of healing. So it's the wounded healer. It's where your deepest wounding is within your job and in your career, but it's the subliminal subconscious part of that. So this is the intuitive side of your life, the intuitive side of the work life. And that's what's being hit. And Neptune it's only going to get stronger and stronger as Neptune continues on moving forward and getting closer to your Chiron. So you're wanting to really look at your subliminal issues around work, around healing, and around playfulness and creativity. Those are the three things you need to really look at. And communicate your truth.
To be honest with you, you spot on, because actually it was last night. I was at work, and actually even before I went to work, I was thinking, I love the job. Honestly, to be truthful with you, I have fun, but
right,
it's not my goal. I've always known that. And I was thinking, like last night, I was like, if you want to do what you want to do, eventually you're gonna have to let this go.
Yes.
So
you do.
At what point are you actually going to do that? I had to I had to tell myself, like last night, I'm like, you know what you have to do? You have to sit down. You have to put a date to that. You have to commit to it.
Yeah.
And not be afraid to leave that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I was actually aggravated about something. I was like, why am I aggravated? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're aggravated because you have Venus and Mars sitting literally, one's on either side of your Saturn. Your Saturn's 10 degrees Aries, Venus is at 7, Mars is at 12. So it's like, hello, wake up. It's kind of like one's going, hey, wake up, and the other one's going slap, slap, slap. Well, they're like each got a cheek, and they're going bam, 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 bam.
Right.
Yeah, Mars is heading forward. And again, at the end of the month when he hits Uranus, that's go time, because he's exiting your house of work, and then he's going into partnership. And then you're wanting, I think what you're going to do or should do is find someone else who has the drive to do what you're doing and partner with them, because Mars and Uranus are 1 degree into your house of partnership. And Uranus, like I say, is entrepreneurship, and Mars is sales. So you need to find someone else who can really be a partner for you in what your vision for your future is. And then Venus goes retrograde, and when Venus retrogrades, she gets back, let's see, right between the degree of your natal Chiron and the degree of the transiting Chiron. So she's really showing you the fear of the past that you're not getting over. And that's the stumbling block until you go through this. And this is the next month and a half. So this is what you're going to be facing as Venus gets back in there. Okay. So that's your story, and it's in your house of work. But it's all a process. Like I always say, it's work the process. It's a process. And Jupiter will be getting back into your 12th house as well. So all these planets and their transits are basically giving you the script on what's going to happen and what has to happen. And Jupiter retrograde in your 12th is saying partnership for this trip. What's the story? The story is about partnering. And then Mars into the 7th house, which Libra rules. So you have a flip-flop chart. You have Libra on the house of the self, and you have Aries on the cusp of partnership. So it does deal with partners for you. So you need to utilize that energy to move forward.
Okay.
And then,
I like it a lot.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
I wasn't going anywhere.
No, you're sneezing.
No, I'm actually getting over a little cough. I just let it do what it does. Let the immune system get a little exercise.
I see. Well, I would love to talk to you further, but I took too long talking about everything else, so I got to really get some callers today.
All right, do what you got to do, ma'am.
Yeah, call in again, and we'll have a little more time to talk.
I'll hit you on Facebook about getting that reading off the site then.
Awesome. Okay, well, it's good talking to you again, Vaughn. Take care.
What's my
Happy Valentine's Day. Do something good for yourself.
Ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Always.
This is chocolate. Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to 253. Hi, 253. How are you?
Hi, Shelley. It's Maureen.
Hi, Maureen. Oh, my, you're
good
so
to hear your
excited and
voice.
enthusiastic.
Oh, it's good to hear your voice and all the
you
enthusiasm for all the planets this February 14th. That was exciting. Thank you.
Yeah. Was it accurate?
Absolutely. Right on.
Awesome.
Especially the computer glitches. As my computer started talking last night, I had to find ways to turn it off. It didn't even want to turn off.
That's so funny. No, I've been having issues with my computer ever since Mercury went into Aquarius. I'm like, yeah, it's been something. So what can I do? What can I do for you?
Well, I listened to what you said about Virgo and love, and of course I would like any further information on love. And if it's around the corner.
Oh yeah, you've got a bunch of stuff, but your chart's saying that you need to do you, and you need to really recognize and acknowledge and what is the word I'm looking for? Not just recognize, but it's like revere, something along the lines of revere. Your need for depth and finding a love of yourself. And I know this is so cliche, but Mars is in your house of commitment, and it's in Aries, and that is self. So to me, it's like finding self-love will actually get you the love you're looking for. And I know that that's what they always say. You got to love yourself first. But Neptune is 2 degrees into your house of marriage and partnership. So you're looking for that ideal partner, and you are on a 20-year, 16, 20 years. It seems like forever. I don't think Neptune even gets out of Pisces until like 2034. It's really a long time. And that seems crazy. I kept looking up. I'm like, is that right? That can't be right. No, that's not right. Okay, let's back it up and see when it actually gets good, because that seemed odd to me. I was looking at it a while ago. Okay, good. 2025. So yeah, so you've got 8 years left of Neptune going in Pisces in your house of marriage and partnership. So that's really honing what it is that you want. And Mars is wanting the commitment. Again, for you, I think you have a great opportunity to meet someone, especially in the educational area, coming up after Mars gets into Taurus. And I'll tell you when that is here. Let me look real quick. That is the 11th of March. So when Mars gets into Taurus, you're probably going to meet somebody before then, but again, it'll be a flash in the pan, because Mars, at the end of the month, Mars hits your Uranus. So you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's nice. And then he'll be gone almost as quickly. So don't forget I told you that when you have it, okay? Because
alrighty.
Yeah, Mars, again, masculine energy. What was that?
It doesn't sound too hopeful. Here today, gone tomorrow.
Well, but you know what it is? He brings you a message, and he's really happy to be free. And the energy that you're bringing in is going to be someone who's showing you that it's possible. And I can tell you, I had that experience recently, where it's like I wrote a list of everything I wanted, and I'm just like, within a few days of writing the list, I met someone, and then and the energy was there, the vibe was there, but it was not to be. He was just not available, and I just thought to myself when I was talking to him, I'm like, you're here as a message for me. You're here to show me that what I want can happen. So that's what's going to happen for you, is that there will be somebody who's like, wow, that guy really got my attention, but he'll be gone. And so it's kind of like, it's not negative if you put the positive spin, and the positive spin is he's giving you the message that what you want exists in the world. You're getting closer because you're starting to attract in somebody who has those attributes. So he will be there to help you fine-tune it, just that last little bit. And definitely when Mars gets to Taurus, he's going to leave your house of commitment. And usually the way it works is the planets transit that house. You think about it, you want it, it doesn't come. And then when it leaves the house, then it gives you the riches of the house that it just was in. So when Mars gets to Taurus at 7 degrees, then it's going to be like, okay, yeah, you went through that, now here it is. And Taurus is a really good sign for Mars because Taurus is Venus. Taurus rules the romantic side of things, and the physical, tangible partnering, which is the second house. And then it gets to your Jupiter. So, and Jupiter is expansion. And if you have the opportunity, I would say it's probably going to come, and I've got chills all over when I'm telling you this, but I think it's going to come in your work environment and through dance. So I think that it's there for you, but it's going to happen when Mars gets up in that area for you. Let me see, where's Saturn?
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you. And can I pull 3 cards for you today?
I'll let you. If let me say one thing. The last caller, I will take you if you hold on. But go ahead.
So for Shelley today, Valentine's Day, it says you're doing your work. 6 of Pentacles. You're doing this, you're doing that, and the rewards are around you. Knight of Cups, you're being that romantic dreamer of what you want in this life and what's coming in. And 3 of Pentacles, your work is being recognized. So I don't know if it's your creative work that you're doing as well as your astrology. And it may even be some writing that's coming up. So this is a good, this is a happy dance.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Don't take on too much around everything in life, and keep offering that sweetness to each other, and you got it, girl.
Aw, you're so sweet to do that for me. Thank you. Yeah, don't be a stranger. I do miss talking to you. I like talking to you. We should talk more.
It was fun to hear your show today, so thanks so much.
Oh, thanks.
Beautiful Valentine's Day. Take care.
Yeah, it went kind of smooth. Are you going to do anything for Valentine's Day?
I'm going to definitely be out in the beauty. We've got sunshine today, so that feels terrific. So
off
to the gym to work out the body, but exciting. It's a beautiful day.
Oh, well, big hugs and love to you. You got my love.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
You too.
Now.
Take care. Bye, Maureen. Oh, that was sweet. Okay, let's take 678 as our final call of the day. Hi, 678.
Hi, Shelley. This is Maddie. How are you?
Hi, Maddie. Good. Have you called before?
I have.
Okay, I'm looking for you. I don't see you under that.
I'm calling on a different phone, so maybe that's why you confused.
Oh, what prefix did you call on before? What area code?
I think it was 770.
770. I could probably find your chart there. We'll just run up to 7. There you are. Awesome. That helped. Yeah. Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that. So what can I do for you today?
What do you see? Just what do you see going on?
Okay, I'm going to have to be quick about it because it's the end of the show, but I know you waited. So I'm going to give you a few things. The things that I see right now are your career cusp and your home life cusp are getting really triggered between the Jupiter and Uranus opposition right now. And it's right, I mean, Jupiter is at 23 in the sky and your cusp of home and family is 21 Libra. And then Uranus is literally 2 astrological minutes of time before it goes into your house of career. And that's extremely close. Like it's practically the same degree. And that means that you're being guided to be more autonomous in your career. It could be sales. Again, everything symbolically. Aries is sales. Uranus is technology. It could be science. And it's entrepreneurship. You have to do your own thing. So if you haven't heard that, I mean, that's a huge thing. I say it almost every week. Uranus in Aries is the energy of wanting to do your own business. And it's in your midheaven, your career, and you're getting in the spotlight for it. By the end of the month, Mars will be triggering this big time. So I don't know if you've been doing anything towards that end, but it's definitely part of your plan right now. Saturn is right on the cusp of going into your house of work. He's going to retrograde this year before he gets into your house of work. Once he gets into your house of work, it's going to be a shift, a change, a transition. I'm guessing you're probably going to be moving if you haven't already, and definitely there's some work for you if you move. And I would say focus on things that you want to do and do it on your own. That's huge for your chart. I mean, let me say on your own in a sense of you're going to work for yourself. You could have a partner, someone from the home and family. You know, Jupiter going through your partnership house is in the home and family sector. So there could be somebody that you could, get on board within the family unit. But it's definitely do it on your own. You've also got Mercury, Sun, and Aquarius right now in your house of partnership. Again, more entrepreneurial stuff and using technology somehow. Neptune going through your house of commitment, so it wants you to make the dream happen. It wants you to commit to the dream. And today, Moon is on your natal Neptune in communications and partnership. So have you to that person? Is it your mom?
Pardon?
Is your mom someone you're interested in maybe having you help you to do something that you need to do? Because you got 2 Moon connections with mom in your chart for transitions, a change, and dream.
No, mom is on the other side.
Okay. So do you have a daughter or a son? Maybe you're the mom.
I am the mom. I have a daughter, yes.
Okay. So maybe there's something the 2 of you could do. And there might be some negotiation if you're thinking about it. Venus going retrograde can help you get some more information about the situation.
Okay. Do you see in my chart, do you see any money coming? There's a house being sold, and I would like to know what I get part of the
did it
proceeds.
already get sold? Did it already get sold?
No, it's not. It's on it's up for listing.
Okay. Venus going retrograde means that it's going to be a little bit longer, and when she goes direct in April, let me see. Let me find out exactly. Here, I'll look at my little chart and tell you when she goes direct. She goes direct on the 15th of April. So that'll be, like tax day is your date to look for, okay? Because she's going to retrograde almost back into the house of legalities, but not quite. I'm thinking you're going to probably have somebody of foreign culture who will make an offer.
Okay. I know.
Yeah.
The reason I asked because you had told me once that I had money sitting there and I need to release it. And I never understood what you meant by release it, and I thought maybe I shouldn't be
so. Okay. Well, Venus represents money, and in Aries it represents making sales. But as she goes retrograde, which is going to happen in a couple weeks, and she's already in the shadow period, which means whatever happens now, you're going to have to do over. She doesn't get to Mars. Excuse me. She doesn't actually conjunct Mars until, let's see, because when she conjuncts Mars is a really good time. But he's going forward and she's going back, so it's going to take them a while to catch up. It'll be like summer before they actually catch up. So let me see. It's going to be late summer. Hang on, I'm just trying to find out here. Leo. Come on, you got to catch up, girl. Wow. She's really close at the, it's going to be fall even. Okay, come on. Venus. Okay, so she catches up on, oh my gosh. Okay, so she actually catches up and surpasses him in November. That's the first time, and it's going to be around the 20th of November. I don't know when you put the house up for sale. I usually like to ask people to call me and ask me the window of opportunity so I can give them a good date to put up for sale.
The house was put up. The house was last year, April of last year.
Okay. I don't have time to look into that date, but I can tell you want the planets to be cooperative. That would mean Moon coming up on another planet, or like right now, I wouldn't put a house up for sale right now because Venus represents, Venus and Mars in Aries is sales, but Venus is going to pull away. So you get close to a sale and then she pulls back. She won't catch up until November. So, it could be that long until the house sells.
Wait a minute. I wanted to make something clear. I didn't put the house up for sale. My ex-husband put the house up for sale.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with me putting the house up for sale. Spirit just led me to check, and there it was.
Who put it up for sale?
My ex-husband.
Your ex-husband.
It was a house that was left behind, and my name was taken off after the divorce. And but in my legal papers, it says if the house is ever sold, I get half of the proceeds. And so I know the house is on the market now. So then since April, there was a contract, but it was taken off. I don't know what happened with the contract.
Venus and Mars. I don't really have time now to look into that. If you want to try calling in next week early, I would have more time, when I start doing the readings, but because I really want to get everybody on today, I took the call late. But yeah, you definitely have some changes going on. Definitely see a move. Jupiter is retrograding right now. When Jupiter goes direct, there's probably more of a finality of a move, and that's in June. So yeah, June he goes direct, but he gets in August is when he actually gets back to where he is today, or on the cusp of your house, and home, and family. So I think August you're going to probably have a move, and August will be really good because it's only a few months before Venus conjuncts Mars, and I think probably later in the year is when everything's going to happen for you, especially because Jupiter goes into Scorpio and it's going to hit your moon in the house, of home, and family. So I think I would look to late summer, fall time. All right.
Okay.
And that's what's going on. You're welcome.
Thank you. And I would definitely see if I can remember to call back next week. And when I come to Orlando, maybe I'll come see you.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, just shoot me an email or, call me on the show and let me know. We can arrange something. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Thanks,
Shelley.
Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. And that's the show for today. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week. Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at ironwoodраin.com.